Hi, this is Chris Slogar. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and you can find me on the web at buckeyeinklings.com. I post a lot of great ideas there, and there is also a link to my online store where you can buy any of the products that you see me use in these videos. I must apologize though, this paper retired this week. I'm getting caught up on a promise to club. I told them I'd make a video for this because it was so hard to write up in directions and pictures. So I'm using a paper that retired this week called Botanical out of the Occasions catalog. And if you're a Stampin' Up! Fan, you might have it. It's a lot of the patterns would be very good for a Hawaiian shirt. But if not, of course, whatever you like, you can use the same technique for. So the shirt opens up by untucking from the collar, and there's a space here for a greeting. I used Happy Birthday from Guy Greetings, and there was also a really good Happy Birthday that fit in this space from Paper Pumpkin kit in the past. But you can use, whatever you want there. I want to just mostly focus on making the shirt, and I've seen different versions of this online. This one that I followed most closely was made by Carolyn Benny in Australia, and she had it with metric units, so I'm kind of translating to English. It's not hard, there's just a few measurements. The card base is 6 inches by 10 inches. So that's a really great use of the designer paper. You can get two side by side on one sheet. Really cute shirt, also made the same way by Dana Welch. Now I haven't embellished this one, but her size starts with an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper and is done very similarly. So you could make this in different sizes. Of course, this you'd have to make an envelope for. This one I also like, not just because of the good paper use, but it fits in a regular envelope. Like it measures about the same as a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card. So anyway, let me get on with this. Like I said, 6 inches by 10 inches. I've already scored at 1.5 lengthwise, 3 and 4.5, just to make it very easy to fold the outer 1.5 inch strips into the middle. And I'm folding this paper back and forth to help minimize the cracking. Our paper is so nice and thick that it does, sometimes crack as you fold it, but if you do this, you will find it will crack less. So, it's especially noticeable on the black. I've kind of sponged over the edges. This one we've handled a lot, so I've sponged over the edges that looked a little white. But I think it really doesn't matter. I mean, what guy is going to look at that kind of detail? Anyway, like I said, folding back and forth and bringing these into the middle. And when you have a directional paper like this one, you are going to want to flip it around and start at what would be the bottom of the pattern to make your collar. So to make the collar, I'm just going to fold this back about 5/8 of an inch, maybe up to 3/4. Try to get this straightened up and burnish that hard. And this, you'll see, will be the collar. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, there's the collar there. I'm going to turn it so that the open side is facing me, the pattern is upside down, the collar is on the back of the shirt. Okay, now with that open side facing up and the collar folded back, I'm going to start weakening this edge so that I can round the corner. I'm sorry, round the collar. Just used to saying round the corner, I guess. Okay, and I'm working it with my bone folder so that the collar will have some give. And what I'm going to do then is kind of pick a point here. You don't want to fold these collars straight down at a 90 degree and make a 45 here. You want to kind of tuck them in to so that the corner comes to a point, and there is a kind of like a tab pointing down to your collar. You'll see why. Okay, so I have, see, here's the collar, there's a tip pointing down, and I've really had to kind of force this to a point here. If I fold it straight down, that would be maybe easier, but you'll see that will not work as well to hold the shirt in place. Okay, so once you have that done, you can kind of burnish the shoulder, if you will. Okay, and then take the other side and bring it to that same point. And I mean, it's a little bit of a struggle because our paper is so thick. And then you're going to fold that too. So now you have these nice little collar tips. And you'll see when you fold the shirt up, you're going to tuck right under those. And that's what I'm going to do next. And now with this pattern being upside down, as I fold the back up, the shirt, the pattern is right side up. So I am going to push this bottom right up into that collar area as high as it will go. And then I'm going to create this fold. Okay, so that's basically the shirt, except that we need sleeves. And I find it's kind of hard to fold this paper where you want it to fold at an angle. So I cheated a bit, and I scored instead of, you can see this is the first one I did, and I was folding and folding until I was happy with it. So once I figured out what I was happy with, I figured out the dimensions and made a score line there so that I could easily score that line to make the sleeves. And what I found is that if I take my scoring tool, my scoring board, and I'm going to open this up. You can have this scored ahead of time, but I want to show you guys what I'm doing. If you make a little mark, I'm going to just put this on the scoring board. Again, you can see 6 inches. The original score line's 1.5 and 3. I am going to come over 1/4 inch, and with the small end of my scoring tool, make a little mark there. And same thing on the other side. I am going to come over from this score line 1/4 inch and make a little mark there. And then I found if I make a little mark at 3 inches here and 3 inches here, that is where I want my line scored. So I'm just taking my Pierce mat now and a straight edge. And I've got those little marks started. And I am just going to trace along my straight edge between those 2 points. And that just makes it easier to fold that and get it where you want the fold. So I guess I'm a little bit anal that way. I'm not gonna just leave it to symmetry to work out. I'm gonna force it to work out. Okay, so again, just real quick, folded these sides in with the pattern upside down, made a collar, pulled the collar around to this point, and this is where we were. Now we have these score lines in place to turn out these sleeves, And if the sleeves are much wider, it won't fit in a regular envelope. So I just chose those dimensions because they work. And what I'm going to do before I flap out those sleeves, I'm going to use the corner rounder go through both layers of the shoulder. Okay, and that just kind of softens up the shoulder. And as you can see, this tucks right in. That's basically the whole shirt right there. Okay, I added candy dots. Never have enough black, so I create them by coloring other colors with my black Sharpie. And then this greeting piece, I've got these made up ahead. The Cajun Craze mat measures 2.5 by 3 1/4, and then the white piece measures 2 1/4 by 3 inches. So as you can see, that will just slip right in there and you can tack it down, and that's it. That's your cute little Hawaiian shirt for the guy on your list. So again, I apologize, this is retired paper, but I wanted to get this in before Father's Day, and the new papers that I have, yeah, I really wanted to use this. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks so much. Bye.